Hey, the 7 Grains of Salt. The Bible VR, their sponsors, and a little bit of symbolism or more in there. So we're going to look, if you've been watching my videos, we touched on the Void and also the Bible VR, but I wanted to look at who their sponsors are and who is influencing this Bible VR. So, because this could end up in your churches or even in your homes, so that's why we need to be aware, because there's good and evil in everything, and so just like in technology, it could be used for good or evil. So don't be overcome by evil, but overcome evil with good, and that is by having knowledge. So who are they collaborating with? Well, these companies right here: Brotech, Rendeavor, Nokia, Ark of Noah, Harmony Bible, Virtually Israel. But let's see who also they're collaborating with to have an idea. Brotech, I found no information. Rendeavor, they're primarily about the social isolation of the seniors and having deepening connections with one another. Sounds fabulous. And their partners, nothing really that stood out or was significant. Nokia, they have Oppo, it's just Chinese company, but it's a tech company, so Ozo is mainly about the audio playback and the Hive and the latest software basically. But I'll show a small clip at the end about their Future X vision, and that's because they want to connect everything and everyone to it, and that's a little bit concerning to me. So their camera is why Nokia is involved in this as well. So, and then we have the Ark of Noah. It's a replica of Noah's Ark, obviously, and Johan Hubers built it in the Netherlands, and he's wanted to take this museum, the Ark, on the waters, and has started to do so. It's for the purpose of spreading the gospel, and he's already brought it to South America so far, and it's a non-profit organization. Then we have Harmony Bible, where I found no information again on them, except for I found Harmony of the Gospels radio, which had the same symbol on it, so it made me think, well, what is this? And it's basically a form of studying the four Gospels in one, where they've taken the four and put them into one. I wouldn't really lean on this. It's a great study maybe, but not using that as the Word of God. So that's that. Then we get into the Virtual Israel, and of course they have some interesting connections, so let's look into that. We have Morona, we have the Milstein Family Foundation, and we have Taglit Birthright Israel. I didn't put all of their connections here because there's too many to note of, but anyway, so the Milsteins are with Morona and their own foundation, and they have the Zionist, and you see the one-eye symbolism kind of everywhere, as you see. But the ones that stood out to me are UN Watch, Mason University, and Chabad. And then of course I realized they were connected to the Adelson family. Unbelievable. Well, if you don't know about either of these families, let's take a quick look. So they're the presidents of Morona and also the founders of the Milstein Family Foundation. They've been connected to the Adelsons, at least on paper that we can see of, since 2015. I'm sure it goes further back than that. But anyway, this gentleman is quite significant and influential that the Jerusalem Post and the GTA listed him anywhere between the 25th and the 50th most influential Jew in the world. So he has some power. Just think about that. And these two companies as well. And he's considered the contemporary leader of cultural Zionism. That's a pretty powerful name right there. But more powerful is Sheldon and Miriam Adelson. If you don't know anything about these people, I'll just give you a brief synopsis of them. He considers himself a good Zionist and a good citizen of Israel. But others consider him as the kingmaker. When you look that name up in Wikipedia, it shows that he has quite the influence on many aspects, politically, monetary, religiously. Yeah, it's a mean of influencing without actually being a part of it. So, yeah, but he's the gaming casino mega billionaire. He is possibly the 10th richest man in the world. That's what he was boasting about, at least. Just think of me as the 10th richest man in the world. Yeah. So he also had such an influence that He gave anywhere between 25 and 100 million of donations to the Trump campaign that we can see of. And so since Trump got in, he scratched their back and he gave Miriam an award, a Freedom Award in 2018. He is considered the godfather of the Republican Party. So he has a major influence. He actually had a major role in the moving of the embassy, if not paying for the entire embassy. So just think about that. So then I have to think about the aspect of the rabbis, as in my previous videos, their influence on everything lately. And then when they say the Bible, they might consider the Israel Bible as the Bible. It's not. It's missing the whole New Testament. It is just the Old Testament plus then some quotes from the Talmud and even ex-presidents. So I wouldn't count that as a Bible, so I would not go and buy that. But let's get back to the VR. So very inexpensive. You can buy anything from less than $10. Look at that. All the way up to, of course, hundreds of thousands, because VR machines are expensive. But these are the simple kind that just where you put your phone into, not the other kind. So they range in price, and you can see symbolism of the T, just like in Tesla, and the bumblebee, which is significant to the Freemason. But anyway, what is this? Where is this taking us? Well, I don't know, because they mention in the Void that it's taking you into portals. And that's concerning to me, because there's good and evil. It's exciting to see and be able to experience the Bible and be in places that you've never been. But is this taking you into portals? Is there an evil aspect of this? I mean, even in the UN, they have the black box in the prayer room. So they are worshiping Saturn, or as some say, Satan. And we're supposed to take this in the comfort of our own homes. This is concerning for the kids. So let's look at a little bit of the symbolism here. We have the two X's. And I had to do some research on this because I had forgotten what the X means. It's the mark of the beast, or the transformation and arrival of the beast. And the colors are significant maybe to them. Some might not think anything of it, saying I'm thinking too much of these symbols here. But I have to look into them because they're the ones representing and putting these there. Two X's also represent the seal of Saturn. And that's exactly what it is. They're connected, both top and bottom. Just like in Freemasonry, it's the same symbol right here in the middle. And they are the masterminds of the world of symbolism. They love flaunting it. If you haven't noticed, they show it everywhere with OK signs and whatever, you name it. You see it everywhere. You see it in the black boxes around the world that are in Manhattan, wherever. I mean, why? We have the box on the Orthodox. We have the box you run around. There is significance in this. There may not be always, but how do we know? How do we know that they're influencing us and we are not even aware? Just like in the gaming. Just like in President Trump giving the Pope the black box. What about in the music video? Well, I had to take my video down due to copyright issues the first time, so I'm only going to show you a brief picture of him in the video. And then we have Hillsong, who has a black box. Unbelievable. I don't know what to say, but let's move on, because this is what we're going to be accepting and taking into our houses. I'm concerned. I am. Because is this what we're going to be looking like instead of actually socializing with our friends and family? Because we're going to be so fascinated with what we're seeing and experiencing? Because the reason I left Hillsong was because they're in the dark. Many other reasons, but I'm just making a point here. They're in the dark, and God asked us to be the light, not to be in darkness. Will our churches look like this soon? I mean, Zuckerberg wants us to, but think about this. It's a little scary, but I'm going to show you a clip that might even concern you more. But I'm going to have to add it in the end, or link it, because I don't want to get copyright issues and have to take it down again. So let's take a look together, because as we know, okay, so there are their partners. And let's look at the video. And I'm not going to play it because I don't want to have copyright, but it's about teaching your kids to see the Bible through the VR. But what's concerning to me is that we're putting something an inch away from their face, and it's hard enough to be able to see what they're watching on TV and, you know, in their rooms on their phones, and now we're going to put it right in front of their faces. And then they show us an example of Mary. So are we going to have an Orthodox viewpoint of this? We don't know. So that's my concern. And so then let's also look at, even though this is not significant, but it is in a way, it's a black box. Justin Bieber starts singing about a black box and saying he's alive, he can fly, he's loving every minute, and then it goes into them dancing with the symbolism behind him and the black and white flooring and them standing in a triangular formation. So I don't know. It's just my viewpoint, but it is something to take into consideration. And let's now look at the future X. This is the one that concerns me the most. I'll pause it in a few spots, but if you'd like to watch it in its entirety, I'm going to link it below.
Imagine if we could access a network as responsive as our own senses. Imagine if we could expand the very limits of how we communicate, able to convey the purest sense of our thoughts. Imagine a truly automated world to latency and bandwidth, as well as the number of connected things. As humans, we will move from feeling disconnected to deeply reconnected as communities. We'll be able to touch the bottom of the ocean and discover the furthest reaches of our galaxy without needing to leave our home. We're entering a reality that has only ever been conceived of in science fiction. All of this requires a new network. A network that will become our digital nervous system, enabling a different, hyper-local, automated, and augmented existence. A network that will create time for people to live and work more effectively.
Okay, I won't play anymore. I don't want to get copyrighted and have to take this down again. So something to be concerned about. Love to hear some feedback. I have my concerns, and I'm going to pass this on to maybe somebody else who might be more knowledgeable about the technology. But stay vigilant, everyone. God bless.